Lurana Shelter is a shelter for women and children fleeing domestic violence and has been in the community for over 23 years. When women come to Lurana, they come in a state of being overwhelmed and in shock, and often they come with nothing more than what they have on their back. And while they're here, they can access services that we have and get ready to move on to whatever they want to do next.
When we moved to Edmonton, it was about a couple months before I started to work, and things started to change when he was taking a lot more of the responsibility of being at home. I was the breadwinner, sort of, and he was the stay-at-home mom. And then I noticed his drinking would pick up, and all those little digs and those little words, they attack your spirit, your self-worth, and they attack your very being. I realized that things were, beginning to get very bad when he did put his hands on me to push me out the door, and I couldn't risk it anymore. So I had to go.
One of the very important assessments that is done with the women when they arrive in shelter is something called the danger assessment, and that's a threat assessment to see the potential lethality that's associated with the abusive partner that they're fleeing. And sadly, nearly 65% of the clients who complete this danger assessment are considered to be at very high risk for future lethality. So it's very concerning when we hear those numbers.
I was going through alcohol and drug problem, and I was going through losses and my death in my family, and I was going through a period of loneliness, and he found basically a victim and he honed in on it. It was very volatile, very demeaning. I was made to feel less than a human being, and I know it. I know now I didn't do nothing wrong. I just allowed the wrong person in my life.
It's really important to understand that Lurana is more than just a shelter. So we don't just house these women. We make sure that when they depart, they have as much as they need in their toolbox to be able to function independently in the community.
The Lurana Shelter offers so many supports to women. There's many outlets, many resources, and outreach programs for after you leave here as well. So you can get everything that you need right here.
Without the Lurana Shelter, I'd probably be back in with the relationship with him, or I'd be back in another similar relationship. It was very touching just to know that there was somebody there when I felt that there wasn't nobody.
It is really, really important that people donate to Lurana Shelter. Without the services that Lurana Shelter provides, these women would be left to be in these abusive, very dangerous relationships and would not have the support they need to build a life where there is no violence.
We all get scared sometimes, don't know where to go. Open up your heart, let it break your way home. We all get lost sometimes, don't lose hope. Open up your heart, let it break your way home. Get scared sometimes, don't know where to go. Open up your heart, let it break your way home. We all get lost sometimes, don't lose hope. Open up your heart, let it break your way home. We all get scared sometimes, don't know where to go. Open up your heart, let it break your way home. We all get lost sometimes, don't lose hope. Open up your heart, let it break your way home. Scared sometimes, where to go. Up your heart, your way home. Lost sometimes.